Hey, what's going on, guys? Cody's the Clever Investor here. Labs is now over, and I wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek on how Clever Labs actually goes down. Now, Clever Labs is a 2-day learning event where we take our students and we push them out of the classroom and into the real world. We're the first company in the industry to actually do this type of learning and earning event. The students are working live leads and they're actually putting real deals together. And we've been doing this since 2010. So you're about to get a sneak peek, which is not something I normally share outside of my high-end mentoring students who come to Labs. But I love this channel and I love you guys. And if this is how you're learning right now and you haven't had the opportunity to come to Labs yet, I wanted to give you a little sneak peek on one of our sessions where we start talking about how to have powerful conversations with motivated sellers. Now, getting on the phones when you're brand new can be very scary, and all these students, most of them have never actually done any motivated seller phone calls yet. So this is going to be their first time. And the way we teach here at Clever Investor is we stand up at the front of the room and we teach you what you need to know. Then we demonstrate it, so you get to watch us doing it, and then we have you do it in a safe environment like here at Clever Labs. We're here in Clever headquarters. Here, come over here, check this out. This is actually my real investing operation out there. So you can see my guys and gals are out there banging the phones and working real deals. And so the students, the energy is insane. The students are learning. They're getting pushed outside their comfort zone. They're having breakthrough. Man, just watch this little clip. This is about 2 hours of training condensed into 12 minutes. So it's probably going to be a little punchy, but you'll get the idea. Check this out. This lead intake form is really a great learning instrument because it's not a word-for-word script, but once you kind of learn it and understand it, it does kind of help you achieve the 6 main goals of a deal. Establish price, build rapport, gather property data, understand their why, set an appointment, and set up your higher authority. Once you do those things, or as you're doing those things, we're building a relationship with them and they're giving us information. And this first phone call should last anywhere between 12 to 20 minutes. If it's going over that amount of time, you're starting to waste time, right? You're starting to go down the path of allowing the seller to control the situation versus you knowing how to ask questions and getting them back on track. 12 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you're in a good zone right there, all right? Other than that, this lead intake form is going to keep you on track. And so the way we do it is it's not really designed for you to go, okay, step 1, say this, fill out this blank. But as you're reading it, if you feel yourself like, okay, where can I go next? Just glance back at this and go to the next step and ask the question. Here's what I want you guys to understand, all right? The flow of the deal is there is an intro, right? You're going to be practicing on leads that are free. Eventually, we'll move on to paid leads. Do you want to learn on free leads or burn the good leads? Free leads, right? So in this environment, here's the funny thing about free leads. There's money in the free leads. I can't tell you how many times per week I get an email, a DM, or a social post with my name tagged in it from some student or somebody in my world that says, hey, Cody, I was practicing your scripts on Craigslist, or I was calling on Zillow, or Fizbos, or even for rent by owner. You guys ever heard of Furbos? All right? And they were just working with landlords. They were working all kinds of different angles. They had like a 1-hour call session and bang, they got a motivated seller that's looking to sell. They have equity, they have motivation. Cody, I got an appointment, I went out to it, I got a property under contract, my first one. And it's like, dang, on your first call session, you got a property under contract? That's amazing. So it can happen. Didn't happen to me like that. 9 months later, I'm like, why can't I get a freaking deal, right? And so thank God I didn't quit or didn't stay quit because I definitely wouldn't be here. We're going to intro based on the type of lead. We might have to switch that up. When they say their name, write it down. Are you like me? I forget the names within 8 seconds of somebody telling me. And now the rest of the call, it's like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. It's like we want their name. All right, their name. We're going to use their name later on. Now, have you ever had a conversation with somebody where they just keep saying your name and it's driving you crazy? And like you're in this sales process going on. It's like, well, John, blah, blah, blah. And John, have you considered this? And John, look over here. And you're like, oh, my God, knock it off. So we want to use their name sparingly, but we want to remember it. All right? What's the easiest thing to talk about with somebody? The property, right? Tell me about the house. I see here in the pictures it looks like it's in okay shape. Tell me a little bit about the property. They're going to tell you when they last made the tile repair and, I upgraded the bathroom 5 years ago, and they're going to start selling you. Allow them to sell you. I invite them, hey, pitch me on the property. Make me want to write you a check. Tell me the good, the bad, the ugly. And I allow them to sell me, and when they do, I'm okay, cool, that's great. So, you put the upgraded tile, that's wonderful. All right, I'm not the person that's just like focusing on only the negative and the bad. I allow them to highlight the good stuff too. So we're going to start with property questions. How many beds and baths? If it's already listed, we don't need to ask it. If you do ask it, just verify it. And the only reason you would do that is to get the ball rolling. So it looks here like it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Is that accurate? Yes, it is. Boom, we got a yes. Milestone met, right? We're in the conversation now. All right, what else? What else do we want to know?
Do you live in the property? Do they live there?
Do you have any other properties?
Do they live there?
Do you live in the property? Love that question. That's a great question. What else? Year built.
Are the taxes up to date?
Are the taxes up to date? All right.
Is there anything you might not know about a property, like a damage or anything like that? Like you wrap around it. You don't just go say it, ask it, but you kind of get to the point where you ask the question like, is there any property damage? Is something I need to know about the property?
Is there any damage to the property or things I need to know about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you the sole decision maker?
Are you the sole decision maker? Why do we care about that?
Because you don't want to talk to somebody who has no way of making a decision.
Yeah, you would like to get the parties involved in making the decision, or at least know what you're dealing with. Yeah. Do we do that a lot? What are we doing? What are we setting up? Our higher authority. What are they doing by not bringing in somebody else into the conversation? They're setting up their higher authority. I got to go talk to my wife, right? That's how that's going to go. And you're going to go, I didn't know you were married because I didn't ask the question, right? So, hey, are you the sole decision maker on the property? What does that mean? Well, are you married? Is the property in your name? Do you have a partner? Or is it in a trust? What's the deal with ownership?
Or any decision maker, maybe.
Any decision maker, yeah. Look, you guys have all the information right at your fingertips. It's called Google, right? It's called the Clever Investor Online Learning Center. There's awesome websites out there like Bigger Pockets. Like, information is everywhere. There's no excuse. What we need to do is kind of pull it together into like a process, right? That's really what we're doing here. So we now have a lot of questions, and if you get to this point where you turn it over, you've now gathered property information, you've asked lots of questions, you've uncovered their why are you selling? At a certain point, you got to now transition to start talking about yourself, because up to this point, you've really just been allowing them to talk, and you've been asking questions. Now, I'm having this conversation, I'm 12 minutes in or 10 minutes in, all of a sudden now it's time for me to transition. And, hey, John, listen, I just want to say I really appreciate you taking the time to share all this information with me here today. The reason I even got into this business, it was kind of accidental. My parents, my dad's been my hero since I was a little kid, and there was a point in time where he ended up getting fired from his job. And it just got really, really tough on the family because he kind of went in this downward spiral. He couldn't find another job. Bills started piling up. He asked me if, I can help him out with some bills. I didn't have the money to be able to do that at the time. I was a bookkeeper. He ended up falling behind on his mortgage payments. The house started to go into a pre-foreclosure stage. And I thought we were going to lose our childhood home. That's just what we were dealing with. It was a ton of stress on my family. I've never seen my mom so stressed out. And so we went on this mission to just dig up any information I could about foreclosures. And what I discovered is there's solutions out there to stop a house from going to foreclosure. And thankfully, we were able to do that for my family. And my parents still live in the house, and we were one of the lucky ones. through that process, I realized that my parents weren't the only ones dealing with tough housing situations, and it made it, I was really excited to be able to kind of take this energy that I was creating and keep doing it with other families and other people in the valley. And since then, me and my wife went off and bought hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of houses, and we got a great reputation around town, and we can close quickly, we can pay cash, we can, you don't have to make any repairs. We're very easy to deal with. We can make decisions fast. The only thing that I need to know is, when I do pull out my checkbook and we get to that place where, you're ready to accept an offer, I just need to know what's the absolute lowest you'd be willing to accept. Have you put any thought into that? Well, yeah. Well, now they're talking a price. So I set it up with benefits, right? My personal story, some benefits, and then I roll into, and if I do write you a check here today, knowing all that stuff, what's the absolute lowest you'd be willing to accept here today? And then you just stop talking. There's nothing else to say at this point, and I don't care if it lasts 10 seconds or 10 minutes. You don't say another word. Let them process. They're going to give you one of two answers. They're going to say, just make me an offer, or they're going to say a number, right? And if they say a number, is that good? Yeah, okay, great. Are they ever wrong? Are they ever wrong about the value of the property? Are you going to make them wrong?
No.
Not on that call. Not on that call. No confrontation on call number one, right? You can bring in facts and stats and positions and all that stuff in later phone calls, but right now you do that, I'm telling you, you're going to break rapport. You finish the phone call, you just say, hey, look, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be in the area tomorrow if you're going to be available. Now, obviously, in this environment, if your student leader says, don't set an appointment, you ignore this. But if it was you in your business at your house, if you know that they're local and you can set an appointment, hey, I'm going to be in the area tomorrow between 10 and 2. Which one works better for you, 10 o'clock or 1:30? Right? Give them two choices. And just say, I'd love to stop by, shake your hand, look at you in the eye, meet you face to face, and potentially put a good deal together that makes sense to both of us. Which one works better for you? You set the appointment, and then you go, okay, hey, I got everything I need. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. You've spent some good time giving me all the information. I'm going to jump off the phone. I'm going to do my market research. I'm going to talk to my business partner, aka my wife. I'm going to try and get her on board with this whole concept. Looks like I'm going to be seeing you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And, oh, hey, real quick, by the way, pay attention. By the way, I see here in my system that you have a mortgage on your property. Is that accurate? Yes. No, I don't have a mortgage. Okay, let me update my system. Yes, I do. Oh, okay, cool. So, nothing set in stone, just ballpark it about what do you owe on the property currently. When you ask a private question like, what is your mortgage? If you do that too early on, it's a 50-50 shot on their personality type. They're either going to shut you down real quick and say, none of your freaking business, or they're going to say what it is. Some personalities don't care. They just spit out information to strangers all day long. And a lot of people do care. But when you do it as an, oh, by the way, at the end of the conversation, what happens at the end of the conversation? They see the light at the end of the tunnel. They're about to get off with you. Their mind starts checking out, and then they're, oh, by the way, what are you doing? What? Mortgage? Right? That's called the Columbo move. You remember Columbo, the TV show? He always did that, right? Hand on the doorknob, getting ready. Oh, by the way, did you commit that murder? Yes, you did. I caught you, right? Isn't that your glove in the trunk of the car? So it's that process, that psychological process that's going to get you more information about their mortgage structure. If they say no, you're in the game for seller financing. They don't have a mortgage. Seller financing. You can do an all-cash offer and get it at a discount. Many more options. If they say yes, okay, no problem. Let me just update my system. What? Nothing's set in stone here. Just ballpark it about what do you owe on the property. 85% chance they're going to spit out a number. You guys feel comfortable?
Oh, real quick, if they give the objection of make me an offer.
Just make me an offer.
Yeah, just make me an offer. Like, what?
I'm going to teach you. This is the same way to overcome every objection, no matter what they say. You're going to say their name. You're going to repeat what they said to you, and then you're going to move it forward with a statement. So it's going to work like this. hey, John, I can completely understand why you would want me to make you the offer, right? I read that book too, all right? And that's my intention, is to work really hard doing my research and taking all the information you give me, doing my market research, taking our market knowledge and putting it all together so that way I can put pen to paper, sharpen my pencil, and give you my highest and best offer we possibly can. Now, in order for me to do that, I'm probably going to have to ask you a lot more questions, all right? But my job is to give you the highest and best offer. Isn't that what you want?
Yes.
Yes. I ended it with a yes statement because you can't say no to that.
Right.
Right? So I turned a negative objection back, spun it around, and got them back in to where I'm back in control, and it's, isn't that what you want? Yeah, that is my intention, right? But I'm going to have to ask you a lot more questions because you're going to have to give me more information in order for me to even get there. So we can kind of, the essence of it is we can save a lot of time if you just tell me what you want. Right?
Right.
You know, hey, look, I completely understand why you might be hesitant to share any of that information with me, John. And my intention is to sharpen my pencil, work with my business partner, do my research, and give you the highest and best offer we possibly can. Isn't that what you deserve? Isn't that what you want?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you need? Right?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter what objection. It's like, I don't want to give you that information. I can completely understand, John, why you'd be hesitant to give me that information. And my intention is not to ask you anything too personal. My intention is to give you my highest and best offer I possibly can by taking market research, asking you questions, talking to my business partner, then sharpening our pencil and giving you our highest and best offer. Isn't that what you want?
Yes.
Dude, they're going to hear me say that 4 times. They're going to stop giving me objections. Because they're just going to be like, dude, okay, I get it. That's what you're going to ask me questions that are uncomfortable, and it's in order to do this thing, which is give me my highest and best offer.
Right.
You see, it doesn't matter what you say to me. I'm just going to spin back around. We're going to go on this roller coaster together, or merry-go-round, or whatever you want to call it. And this is it. We're going to end up at the same place because I'm steady Eddie, right? I understand. That's a good thing that you're saying objections. Now, the only one caveat is what happens if they're rude to you?
Don't be rude back.
You don't have to be rude back, but you can be tough back. John, I'm going to shoot to you straight. I don't even know if your property meets our home buying criteria. In fact, it's not feeling that way, right? I push back. If they're tough on me, I'll push right back on them, and it's called a takeaway, right? I'll just take away. Honestly, I don't even think that this is a good property for our home buying criteria. I'm just here to help you out and maybe give you some advice so that way you can get your property sold. You know, if you want to work with a real estate agent, maybe you should do that. What are we doing in this first phone call session? We're getting the marbles out of our mouths. We're building rapport. We're having fun, right? This is not serious. You're not supposed to be a negotiation ninja at this point. You're just supposed to get some phone calls done. Fill out some lead intake forms and be playful with it.
Clever is giving you all the tools from the script to the processes to different marketing techniques. You know, they map out the steps from beginning to the end.
I love the team. Everybody is so honest. Everybody has a story. Everybody is so helpful, and we're helping each other grow and learn.
All the energy that's in here, the fact that you can push through whatever was holding you back in the past. You've got a safety net. You've got people here who are pushing you and telling you that you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. And then you just know that you can.
And I'm super excited about getting back to Washington, making phone calls, really trying to expand my business and take it to the next level. So, I mean, this gives me some tools, you know, seeing others in the same place as me, struggling to get deals, but I'm just so optimistic more than ever to make deals and make 2020 my best year.
All right, what'd you guys think? You know, a little sneak peek into Labs. Now, like I said, this was a 2-hour powerful conversation broken down into 12 minutes, but I wanted to give you a little taste so that way you're motivated to do 2 things. Number 1, click the link that is pinned in the comment down below so you can get your hand on my Motivated Seller lead intake form and my Motivated Seller scripts. And number 2, plant the seed that someday you want to get your butt out to Labs and have some fun with your boy Cody Sperber. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Grab the free scripts down below and get out there and get out of the classroom and start making those calls and go make that money. You got this. I believe in you. All right. See you on the next one.